All good? You're on? Okay. All right, and we'll open the meeting at 7:02. We have a quorum present. And we need to approve the agenda as written.
So moved.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? Is there any additions to the agenda?
I have none.
No public comment. So approval of the minutes. And the first one we have is a tax rate hearing for 9/10 of 2025. Do I have a motion? All in favor? Aye. All right, and then we have for the 9/10/2025 regular director's minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have the closed session board minutes from 8/13/2025. Do we have a motion?
I'll make it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Matt, the financial report.
Yes, sir. As of September 30th, 2025, in the assets checking accounts. The general fund, 772,281. Capital reserve, 500 at 13,577.98. And then the building lane fund, 161,852. Total assets of 1,447,711.70. Current liabilities of 2,321.56. Total income for this period, income 51,748.98, with the total expenses of 158,302.7.
And it looks like we have a previous month's financial report. I guess we didn't get to that, something. So it says previous month financial report, September 25.
That's for September.
Yeah.
That's the same one.
Same one?
Yeah.
Same one, okay, all right. We'll just have a look different. Then I make a motion to approve as read.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Approval of the ordinance to pay the bills outlined in the check registry, ordinance number 25-18.
Make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Missouri State Auditor's Office.
Just a copy that we successfully filed our tax rate for 2025 or 2026 fiscal year budget and state accepted.
Wonderful. Anything on staff reports? Marshall report.
There was one building permit issued for the month of September, $393 charged, $393 collected. This is for regional eye cares moving down to basically where the doctor used to be next to the AutoZone down there. So that plaza will really cool. Yep, sorry.
That's, AT&T, done any kind of permit for the building?
Well, are they, I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know if they're adding to that building or just doing underground work. I don't know.
There's a hole back there that is bigger than the building.
Yeah. I'll double check. I'll ask Leonard to see, what they're going to see what they're doing with that, because I'm not 100% sure. So.
Fire chief's report.
For the month of September, we ran 144 calls for service. 2 more successful river rescues. That's been the going theme this summer. Will be known as the river rescue theme for one individual who wrecked his boat out there, and then another individual who just they could not make the rest of the boat, so we had to go assist and get them both found with the drone first. Send crews to them from that location using drones. So that's good. Little snippet there. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but we attended a clinical save ceremony on Monday with, the police officers and some other first responders that were involved in the save from a gentleman down at Circle K that went into cardiac arrest. He was delivered CPR by some bystanders. Blake Cruz, Ellen Lamar, who's a hematite firefighter. Our crews got there and delivered a couple shots with the AED. And he is alive. Well, today it was at the ceremony, so it was a pretty cool event to be able to talk to someone after they've been through that. That's just something that does not happen every day. So it's a pretty neat event. And, kudos goes out to Kyle and Joey and all the crews that were a part of that. Jason, possibly there a little later on. So, all right, Jefferson Foundation grant. The district applied for new EMS equipment and not have an update nor have we heard anything. However, we did hear on 30th of September that we were awarded the AFG grant for $66,000 through the federal government, and now the federal government shut down. So obviously none of those funds will be available until they get their lives together and figure out what they're going to do moving forward. That's for turnout gear and brush gear. A couple of sets of turnout gear, like 3 or 4. Right, it's not. All right, let's full policy update. We're continuing the process. We're hoping to be done by the end of the year. The stoplight issue, there is no change with that. We're hoping to have that included with the TAP grant or the SMTP funding with MoDOT when they do the crosswalk. Just got an update today. I don't know, did you ever figure out what inspection that was for the truck, ladder truck?
Yeah, that was the final, and I asked him, I said, well, we have midpoint too. He goes, I forgot about that, they haven't mentioned it, so I'll probably be going up in the next week or 2.
Are we past the point of a midpoint?
No, because they haven't painted it yet. Normally it's right around paint time.
Okay. Let's say if we're past that point, don't waste your trip.
Yeah,
Telling them
no.
what's that.
And it's, said it's also a midpoint of ladder truck just prior to them mounting the ladder.
Okay.
So they have not mounted the ladder.
Okay. So we'll have a couple trips up there. The tentative date for the final inspection is 17th of November. So that's coming right up here pretty quick. And I would imagine upon final inspection, they'll be having it delivered. Is it set to be delivered here or are you guys driving it back?
It was supposed to be delivered to us, and then I guess once we figure out what we're doing under new business mounting, I'll probably go there.
Okay. We'll talk more about the building project under new building or new business. Still working on some of the IT projects, wrapping up the move to the cloud server from this server. Credit cards are in. We are in the process of switching all the monthly payments over to that. Hiring process is complete. We'll talk more about that in closed session. Still working on the Sutphin lease. We'll talk about that under new business. And still waiting for some numbers on lease purchase for construction of the building, which obviously hinges on what that's going to cost, where we're going to come in at, and maybe Steve, when he talks, can shed some light in on that. We've been having some issues with the truck. We're working through it. Nothing really crazy, just the cylinder breaking on the cab lift and a few other minor things. Pump and ladder testing is this month. Training continues as always. Crews are working on some confined space stuff within the next month. Been a busy month as well too with fire prevention, education, and everything going on at the schools. And there are some pictures if you scroll down there of where we're at with the ladder truck. Picture of the award ceremony from City Hall the other night.
Any questions, comments? We don't have a shop steward report,
No, not a week.
and it shows nothing on their own board. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
oh, yeah, there it goes. I can see it. Facility update.
okay, so obviously everything is rolling with the current foundation repair at Station One. Huge thanks to Jason and all the crews. Jason's been working tirelessly as tearing everything out. We worked hard yesterday to get the rest of the carpeting out of the offices, get it gutted, get it ready to rock and roll. They're getting ready to pour the concrete up at the backside of the building, and then today we ran into a pipe issue up there, so we were up replacing some crushed pipe up there today, so it's kind of been one thing after the other. The foundation people are in tomorrow, so they'll be cutting the foundation, putting the interior drain stuff and sump pump and all that inside the building, so that's right along. There is a picture kind of right there, and you can see the interior colors that were picked out by nobody better than the office manager, because we are not interior decorators by any way, shape of the imagination. So kind of that light oak floor color, black countertops, some white cabinets there. And down below, you can see the wall color and the trim color for everything. Just want to make sure you guys are cool with that and okay with the colors that we chose. In the same boat we are.
Brick. The brick.
I have ideas. I have lots of ideas.
We are still working through new furniture. Some desks have been ordered. I think, in all honesty, once we get some cabinetry in the offices, I'd like to request an additional $5,000 to ensure that that gets done. We were very frugal on the desks. We brought commercial grade fire station design desks. So it's fire station furniture. We bought their stuff in the past, and most of the desks were what, around $1,000, $1,200. So I think roughly between Jason's desk, my desk, Julie's desk, we spent 3,200, 3,300, somewhere right around in there. The initial 10 grand that we we're over that. And I think some of the cabinets, additional stuff for the offices are going to come back between another $8,000 and $10,000 to get the officer's office done. We've taken the desks out of there. We're going to align that with the countertop, kind of like this, so they have workstations instead of those old jailhouse desks that I call them, or school desks, whatever you want to call them. And get some cabinetry in Jason's office and my office, and so shelves are gone and out of there. So if you guys are cool with it, I appreciate a motion to go up to an additional $5 grand over that initial 10 grand over we talked about.
I'll have a problem. Okay. Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Awesome. And then the second part to this, and I'm happy to introduce Mr. Steve Bacon here. He's the architect we've been working with on not only the master planning project, but on the design for the Casey's building. He is almost there with the bid packet, if I am correct in saying that myself, Steve. So
Correct.
I'm gonna pull up some slides, or not slides, some plans here, because Steve shot them over to me today. And which one do you want the
Don't put up specs.
okay.
Everybody's answering. I'm happy to jump just to. So just to kind of back up and summarize, we're rehabbing Casey's building. We got hung up because we assumed we were going to need or want to have full MEP engineered drawings for the mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Which, you know, overkill or not, it would take us some time, and since there was a good relationship between us and the city and you all in the city, we think we have a method to sort of short circuit the engineering part of it. And what we talked about doing last time was reorganizing the project so that basically the general contractor type items would be one bid package, and then we'll get separate sub bid proposals, each from HVAC mechanical, plumbing, and electrical. So ideally, we get 2 or 3 or 4 bids from firms who want the general contract work, and then also each of those subcategory. And then we can put together a package and either conglomerate it and have it all managed by the general contractor for probably an additional fee, or since it's small and simple, manage it as on together as the general contractor. And then we would deal to the degree that the city wants any details on the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems. We'll have those provided by the subs. So they're basically going to be doing a design build package. But what we're doing is trying to be sure that we identify all the major pieces of equipment so that the bids that we have for each of those disciplines are as close to apples and apples. So, you know, I'm pretty comfortable showing where lights are. I'm not comfortable saying what size the wire is between the lights or from the panel to, you know, a certain bank line. So, but most of those things are governed by code, which the inspectors and the licensed contractors are familiar with. So since it's not a high occupant load, high risk building, I think they're willing to work at that. So that's the approach that we've taken. This is a kind of the most basic drawing in the package. It's a drawing from the code review and life safety sheet. Basically shows the finished building, the emergency exiting paths, lighting equipment, and the exterior ADA issue. We didn't talk about it, but as long as we're out there, if somebody's going to have some paint, we can designate those 2 parking spots along the left-hand side of the building there. One is is an ADA parking space, and the aisle, the ramp is already there. All we got to do is put in the striping and be good. And then if we're at it and you want to, you can continue striping to better define the parking spaces out there. But we're calling that work as under separate contract. So if you choose to do it, you can work with whoever you normally work with on parking lots. But it wouldn't be included in the general contract or so. Basically, I'm sure you've seen the plan. Buildings divided between storage and workout room. We've got a new toilet room, air controlled foyer and front entry, new door on the side on the storage space, and the existing second door on the workout space. So we're not going to do anything to the size of the footprint. We're going to create 2 overhead doors into the storage space as well. And redo the entire roof. We're going to take off the roof panels. There's all kinds of penetrations through it. It's old. It was leaking at the time. Looks like it's been continuing.
Still leaking today.
So the general contractor package includes removing all the metal roofing panels, replacing them with new insulation at the ceiling as well. We've got an alternate set up to replace all of the metal siding as well. And if that comes in at a number that's appealing and you want to do that, you can add it. We'll have a hard number to add to the contract if you want. If you don't, it just will be a simple. We are going to dress up the appearance of the building a little. We're going to add a kind of a raised parapet across the front and down the sides to make it look a little more virtual building, more modern looking building. Across the front, we'll have enough of an overhang. We can get some. Go back up. Go to here on this sheet. We've got 2 batches of elevations. One is the existing elevation so that the bidders can see what's there to start with, and the new elevations that we propose now. The new ones are on the top. So that east elevation, that is the back of the building. That was the that you see there.
Good Lord.
The new back. The new front is what's just above it. The west elevation is over the door. We've got that fake brick wainscot across the front. We're going to get rid of that and just put up nice new metal and a trim piece, basically at the top of where the wainscot is now. And then we can either leave the existing other metal that's there, or you can take the package to replace all the metal, then you can have all the siding across the front of the we did understand that we don't have a ton of extra money laying around that we're trying to get rid of, so we're trying, when we have a choice, we're opting for a good middle of the road commercial solution that will last a long time, but is not necessarily high end, exotic, or hard to put in or expensive, more expensive than something else we can do. But so if you look at that west elevation, just that little feature at the top, it's just gonna be some metal framing applied to the front of the building. It'll extend up a little bit. We'll have a little bit of an overhang that comes out and we'll have some down soffit lighting in that. It'll just kind of clean up the appearance of the building from the outside and from the front, with minor amount of framing and some extra siding and a parapet. That's basically the scope. Is there anything you have any questions? I don't want to go through every sheet if you all are comfortable with looking at plans and understanding what's here. I would say that our completion stage is about 90%. I think just about everything that is going to be in the plan is here. It all just needs final coordination, cleaning up with notes and things like that. And the same with the specs. You scroll, yeah, that's fine. So that's our new ceiling plan. We've got ceiling 2x4 tiles in the workout space, 2x4 LED light panels. We're showing diffusers and a growth that we might have a new AC and furnace package serving just that space. The storage space will just be tempered by those 2 unit heaters in the bottom corners. Those will be electric unit heaters. They'll blow some warm air, and if you leave it closed up when it's cold, it'll warm up and keep things from freezing. But certainly not. It's not going to be. You're not going to go relax out there in the middle of the summer. It won't be conditioned. It's just going to be for tempered storage. Those are just suspended strip LED fixtures out there in the workspace. Nothing fancy at all. All the lighting is LED. I think I have in my notes 2 different things for the ceiling in the storage space where we're just parking vehicles. Do you want a finished ceiling, or can we just leave the new insulation with the plastic backing exposed? Which you see a lot of.
I agree.
Warehouse
exposed. No.
Yeah.
We wreck fancy. Right. So
Okay.
what firefighters do.
Okay. All right. So we'll stick with the exposed insulation there. Everywhere else would be covered up on the wall. Would be covered up, and of course you won't see it over on the finished side.
Is the parking lot, is that just gonna be filled in with the concrete or new concrete where they took things out?
Yes.
Build concrete.
So they're gonna have to, I've already talked to Trent about that. He's gonna obviously have to come in and break away some of the areas that's collapsed, backfill everything in, and then redo what's busted up. So he's not gonna tear out the entire thing, just what's broken, fix kind of what's broken right there, so.
Scroll to the AS1 sheet. It's maybe the 3rd sheet in. What we've done to address those issues. So we got a couple of different notes on here. Repairs to existing pavement are under separate contracts. So to the degree that the concrete needs to be fixed, that would be outside the scope of what these guys are bidding. If we didn't detail it, they wouldn't have a quantity to bid. It'd be hard for them to come up with a number where they weren't disappointed. What we did include though, where the overhead doors are going to be put in here, and of course we got sidewalk here now. So we're calling for this sidewalk to be torn out and a new apron that slopes from the finished floor up here down to the existing parking level. That will be in the general contractor's scope of work. And I just felt that it was better to have them responsible for that, since they're gonna be responsible for the rest of the building as well. There's a new walk here, I believe we have that, under separate contract as well. Yeah. The number one it refers to. So, the other thing, our existing front door is right here. This is gonna become a driveway. We're proposing just a very short little railing to keep people from coming out. I mean, the door opens that way, so you shouldn't have people walking out and turning that way right away, but, just as an extra safety measure, we'll get just a very short railing to keep anybody from accidentally walking across right in front of the door. Otherwise, site-wise, there's not a lot else to do. These are the other parking spaces that I proposed you could paint in. That would give you 6 parking spaces, and I don't know what the city's gonna require, if they're even gonna check the parking versus the code, but I would think 6 spaces would probably be close to it. That should be-
The vote stand UTV or just the vote?
The votes in the.
Anything else that you had questions about, or you want to go through some more of the sheets? I don't need to keep everybody here any longer than you want. I'm happy to stay as long as you want, but
I guess to the next, how close do you think we are to being able to get this published and out there? And the reason I ask, do we need to go and wait until the next board meeting, or if he's ready to rock and roll in 2 weeks? Are you guys happy with this? So we can go ahead and put it out. for bid?
Put out the bid. I'm happy, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I think a week or so is what we've got, maybe a little less than that.
okay,
And part of what we will put out will be the spec book, the project manual. That in there, that's where we call out the bid date, the bid opening date, and all that kind of stuff. We'll coordinate and want to set it up for a day. However far in advance of your board meeting you want to have it, we can look at that and get that.
Okay. Okay.
We will, we'll distribute the electronic version of the plans to several plan, construction reporting agencies. And I will distribute and send copies of the electronic plans to whoever requests them. I'll keep track of the plan holders list and share that with everybody.
Right.
Same with addenda. If we will find things that need to be addressed by addendum, and when we do, I'll just everybody who's on the plan ready list. We do not take care of the public publishing to whatever, if that needs to be done. We can give you some of the verbiage that you need, but we don't place it those in that, so making sure that that's good.
well, if you give me the verbiage or some of the verbiage, I can clean it up and we'll, usually we just do all of our advertising in the county end because it's the true legal newspaper in Jefferson
Yeah.
County, and, it's about $1,000 cheaper than the other paper in Jefferson County, so.
I wonder how long they're gonna stick to the requirement of having to publish in the paper.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
And because when we release this, as soon as they're ready, I will send notes to the GCs that have shown interest in our work before. And we'll be distributing plans probably to everyone that wants it before that even gets to.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
But whatever you need to do.
Steve, thanks for coming and
Sure.
showing everything off. We appreciate you working through, the mess with the MEPs that we went through, and,
Well, I feel bad about that.
can't control other people.
Yeah, we used to be able to. It feels like we can't. There's just so many things that aren't easy to procure.
Understand.
All right, I'll get with you in a day or two and we can talk about
Okay.
those bid dates and,
Perfect.
any of those details.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve.
Should be ready to go in a week or so.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sure, thank you guys.
Legislative update.
I included an entire report in there for your guys' review as to everything that has happened and everything that is going on. There's really truly no new update from what I have kind of discussed with you guys in the past, so. I text you guys, the lawsuit has been filed by Jim Layton. So we are, have no update on where that is at. I believe the Cole County has 30 days to respond to that, so we should know something no later than like the beginning of November. It's 30 business days, so we'll know something by then where it's going to go, so. And that did ask for immediate injunctive relief in that lawsuit, so whether that gets granted or not, we'll see. But unless you want me to read the entire report to you, I will.
I think we're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure you're informed.
Well, let's see. Lease purchase.
Yes, I have a resolution that you guys to sign. I believe I got everybody's signature except Bob's. It's just accepting the lease purchase that we talked about last month. I'm gonna throw one caveat out there just so you guys are aware. I'm in a little bit of a battle with something because there's a $40,000 credit built into the price of the ladder truck for equipment mounting. So in my mind, lease purchase, which is under new business, we choose a company outside of that, that lease purchase gets escrowed to two different companies, whatever company we choose. And then the rest goes to something, obviously. I'm still trying to figure out, I don't think Brad, our salesman, quite understands where I'm going with that, so I've got a little bit of work to do. So I guess the point is, if there's some changes that need to be made monetarily wise to the contracts, we may have to throw a quick special board meeting together if we have to. I'm hoping not, but we'll see how this shakes out. I'm kind of confused myself on everything, so if I'm confusing you, don't worry, I'm just as confused, but there's a $40,000 credit that was built into the price of the truck. Jason, correct me if I'm wrong in anything I'm saying.
We did that on purpose, just like we were 65.
Right. So in my mind, whatever the final price is, the initial contract that we signed, minus that $40,000 is what we owe something. That $40,000 should go to whoever gets the equipment mounted.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the confusion is coming in for a little bit, so we'll see.
And that goes over with the Hillsborough leasing packet.
That's just everything I've got to sign. I'm gonna have to get with Bob.
Yeah.
At some point to have him sign in a few spots. I heard, are you leaving town at all soon?
Just leaving tomorrow.
Okay. You'll be back when? Yeah, for next week, get it done,
Late next week,
or when you get back next week.
you don't have it ready,
I've got it, it's back at the firehouse, so.
stop by tomorrow.
Okay, well, yeah, if you want to stop by.
All day tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We go to Easton's football game at 5. From that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, just call me tomorrow, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
You heard from me by noon, holler at me because I forgot.
I'll put a reminder in my phone because I'll forget.
All right, new business, the minimum wage law changes.
Yeah, We missed it. They,
We paid anybody minimum wage?
yeah, all of our part-timers are making $12.30 an hour. And prior, when that constitutional amendment was passed, we were excluded from the minimum wage law. However, last session, after a certain amount of years, a petition initiative can be legally changed by the General Assembly after 5 years. That's what they did. They removed political subdivisions out of the minimum wage exemption. What's that?
I think 15's too cheap for our people, but
I know, I agree. I agree 100%. But. So my recommendation is now we bring it up to where we're at 13.75 and then we go to 15 per hour. Beginning January 1.
Yeah. that's what I'm gonna change it now.
Okay, I'll do it.
I don't care when it starts, right? I know we're going.
Okay,
These aren't just people off the street
No.
here, you know, these are trained people that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Apparatus equipment mounting bid. Kind of looking over that.
yeah, so we got, several different bids back. McQueen came in the cheapest at $38,205.90. I think me and Jason talked, we've seen their products, we know what they can do, we would like to award them that portion of the bid. With the caveat, got to figure out what Brad Cash and our subsequent salesman thinks.
It actually works out great in our favor, because we're not having to leave the truck in Ohio.
Correct.
It's gonna come here, and all we gotta do is drive 20 minutes down the road to go look at it and tell me, I want this amount here and this amount here, instead of sending pictures from you.
Right.
And they'll be working in conjunction with, you guys probably don't remember, but Kevin Wisman, who's a retired firefighter from Saline Valley. He's built some minor stuff for us here and there. He runs a company called Profusion Lab and he welds all of the poly together. So they're working hand in hand together on this project. Kevin does phenomenal work, so we're keeping that money here as locally as we possibly can. I feel support.
The Station 2 alert system.
Yeah, as we talked about, that was in our strategic management plan for this year. I would like to get it done by the end of the year. Unfortunately, the cost has come in a little bit higher. We initially budgeted 45,000 and it came in at 51,937.36.
It's comparable
Comparable to House One. And I still think it's going to be cheap.
I'm good with it.
So,
It really seems.
so yeah, I mean, this was already kind of built in to the budget, but I would like to roll with it, so we're done with it by the end of the year.
Roll with it. The drone software.
Yeah, drone committee's been big on getting a software called Drone Sense. It helps with mapping, live streaming of your drone missions. So when we're flying a mission, Bob wants to see what we're doing, I can send you a live video link. You can click on it and watch the drone do the rescue. It has better mapping than what we have going. It's not a cheap product annually. It's about $2,900 per year. However, it's what all the other agencies with drones are using to effectively map. And guys, I'm not a drone guy, so I'm calling you wrong, Jason. Maybe you know better than I do. I don't know.
No, but this drone has saved a lot of lives. It's 10 years. I mean,
It's well worth it. It's well worth it. So we would like to proceed with the purchase of
And it's locked in, like it said, for 5 years.
5 years. But we can still cancel anytime within, not anytime, every year, 30 days.
You don't have to renew at the.
We're not locked into some evergreen clause in a contract that we can't get out of. But it's a 5-year price.
add-ons to the drone that maybe could be donated, I think.
Yeah, so I think the Civic Club's working on donating some things.
It could be add-on to the drone. Could be good.
Speaker possibly, and something else.
Nice.
Like
Speaker,
yes.
like, already got that on.
Well, I do not have a problem with that. I think it's necessary.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
All in favor? Aye. The lovely workman's compensation renewal.
Yeah, proposals there in front of
Yeah.
you. It's roughly the same amount, maybe a couple $100 cheaper this year. For next year, we were looking at $33,417.
All in favor?
I would also like, if you guys do not mind, I'll talk to our broker. I want to try to get to a 1-1 renewal. This trying to budget for a middle of the year price difference is ludicrous. I talked to Grant about doing this with our comprehensive insurance. So we may, once I talk to Grant, as we get closer to the end of the year, switch from that May 1st date back to 1-1. So it'll be a little bit quicker of a turnaround, but it's so much easier budgeting wise, trying to, instead of throwing a dart at the wall. So I'm just throwing it.
All right, HVAC maintenance agreement.
Yeah, it's time to renew our maintenance agreement with SMCI, $1,530. That's both engine houses, 2 trips, every single unit that we have, fall and then spring. It's a 1 year.
All in favor? Close session.
Perfect. Julie, you got it.
I've received.
Third, seven.
Okay, I need to mute this though.
Sorry if you gotta go, Jason.